Good morning all. I'm Nandhini, working as an assistant professor in SNS College of Engineering at the Department of Computer Science and Technology. Today we are going to see a topic on transaction basis in database. In that course name of database management system. What is a transaction? This is nothing but a collection of operations that performs a single logic functions in a database application. Each transaction is a unit of both atomicity and consistency. This atomicity and consistency, that attributes of being consistent in the atomicity, the attributes can be changed. We require the transaction to not violate any database consistent constraints. The database was consistent when a transaction started. The database must be consistent when the transaction successfully terminated. It gets terminated. It is the program responsible to define the properly the variable transaction so that each preserves the consistency of the database. For example, the transaction to transfer funds from the account of department A to the account of department B could be defined to be composed of two separate programs. Because there are two departments A and B, their accounts have been transferred, so it is the programs have been separated from one to the another. One that debits the account A and the another that credits the account B. Because suppose wherever one account amount is being credited, in the other account the amount gets debited. Next one is in transaction, the execution of two programs one after the another will indent preserves the consistency. Because the consistency of the program may vary at the time of the preservance need of the program. That is that each program by itself does not transfer the database from a consistent state to a new consistent state, because one consistent state remains the another consistent state. Thus two programs have been considered. The atomicity, in this place the atomicity is nothing but the total number of atoms present in the molecule of an element is known as an atomicity. We in general we are saying. In the field of DBMS, we may say that that ensures all the transactions are executed in an all or nothing manner is known as an program execution. In the next phase, the concept of transaction has been applied broadly in database system and applications. While the initial use of transaction was in a financial application, the concept is now in the real application. It is used in a telecommunication system, long duration activities, then at the time of consistency, like that we are using it in a very long duration attributes. In the consistency way, the condition of an occurrence where all operations and transactions have been completed and the data remains accurate and valid for all outcomes. These data gets valid for all outcomes is known as an transaction basis. The concept of a transaction is broadly used. And in detail, how we can say transaction is transaction gets used for managing a consistent database, schedules and the access of data in a concurrent manner. Because a single or a logical unit consists of a set of transactions logically related with the operations. For example, money transfer from one account to the another account is known as an this transfer of transaction. In this transaction, we use a property known as acidic property. That acidic property is nothing but atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability. The atomicity is nothing but the entire transaction takes place at one or does not happen at all. In the consistent manner, the database must be consistent before and after the transaction. In an isolation set, multiple transactions occurred independently without interference. In a durability state, the changes of a successful transaction occurs even if the system fail gets occurred is known as an atomicity property. In this property, a single logic unit of work which occurs and possible modifies the contents of a database. Transaction access data using read and write operations. What we are going to read and what we are going to write. And the order to maintain the consistency in a database before and after the transaction, certain properties have been followed. And that property is known as this property. In example, we are taking two accounts X and Y. Before X has 500 rupees and Y has 200 rupees. After the transaction T1 reads of X where X tends to X minus 100, return X. After that X has 400. This 100 rupees has been credited from X to debited to Y. In Y we are reading read Y. Y is equal to Y plus 100 where write Y. In this state what we are knowing is from example 1, X has been getting minus of 100 rupees which has been credited from X to Y gets debited in this way. Thank you so much for the video.